I teach real food education. We have a couple of different classes. I teach them at Pleasant Ridge over at the Red Balloon, and then we also teach them up at First Baptist Church over in Harrison. And we do birthday parties too, which are really fun, or play groups. But it's a lot of fun. Basically, one of the biggest stresses for me when I was going back to school was lunches. I have kids. I have a daughter who's 14 who just started at St. Ursula. I have a 7-year-old who is at Kilgore, and then I have a 4-year-old who is in preschool at Mercy. So I am all over the place, and I have all different kinds of eaters. You know, my 14-year-old is great. Rabbit, she'll eat any vegetable that I put in front of her. I have my 7-year-old who hates everything. Maybe me too some days, but he's a very picky eater, and so lunch is very difficult for him. And then a 4-year-old who's just kind of learning what it is to go to school, what it is to have a lunch packed for him, and I have this finite amount of time to eat food while trying to, talk to my friends too, which he's a good talker like his mom. So we kind of came up with some tricks. I grew up in my mom's kitchen, so she was always involving me in cooking and teaching. But then when I had my own family, like I said, I work 40 hours a week. I do advertising, so I bring work home. It is time consuming to involve your children all the time. What could take me 10 seconds to make lunch takes me 2 hours when I get the kids involved. So it's a huge difference, and it's trying to figure out how to make that work. So the biggest thing, first tip on there, is get kids involved. I know that it's hard, but take that time on Sunday to go to the grocery store with them and let them pick out a vegetable. Just one. And I'll say, hey Brady, and that's my 7-year-old, what do you want in your lunch today? I want carrots. Okay, that he has to choose one to put in there. Is he gonna eat it? Probably not. But I'm gonna put it in there every single time, and it was his choice to be on there. And, my youngest, he's gonna say, I want sugar snap peas. He's gonna eat every single one of those sugar snap peas because he loves them, and that was his choice. So it goes a little bit back and forth. I also let my kids pack their lunch, which then it's terrible. It's not the lunch I would have packed for him. It's gonna have whatever junk food that we had in the house. It's going to have, maybe not the peanut butter and jelly sandwich I would have packed, because it would have been more peanut butter, less jelly. Theirs is gonna be all jelly, mushy in their lunchbox, but it's their lunch. They're taking ownership of it. My 4-year-old needs a little help. 7-year-old can totally do it himself. My high schooler, I barely pack her lunches. I just sort of approve them now. Like, okay, that's fine, take whatever you want. But it's growing up in that. Keep doing it. So I do recommend, if you have little ones, there's this great app I can show you. It's called the Lala Lunchbox app, and it's basically feeding a monster. And they get to pick, and it has all these great choices inside of it. I can't recommend it more. They basically feed the monster, and it tells them they have to put fruits, veggies, proteins, and snacks in there. And it has pictures of all of the different choices that they could make. And so they put them inside of their lunch. They play it like a game on my phone, and then I have, Brady likes these today. I found out that the kid loves hard-boiled eggs because he started putting them in his Lala Lunchbox app. So that was really great. Tip number 2 is think outside the bread. I think it's so easy. I've already said peanut butter and jelly twice in here. I mean, you're gonna pack a sandwich, you're gonna pack a ham and cheese sandwich, something, but think outside of the bread. Noodles are great, and it's an easy way to throw vegetables in where the kids like if you make a pasta salad, we all we go for the broccoli first. We're like, ooh, broccoli, red peppers in there, yummy. They're gonna eat the pasta, but they're still gonna be hungry, and the vegetables are there for them. So it's just a different approach to looking at it. It's a little more combination. Noodle soup, great. Throw it in a thermos. Broccoli soup. Give them bread to dip it in, a grilled cheese sandwich to dip that in. I mean, that's delicious for them. And the thermoses they're making now actually keep the food warm. They never did when I used to go to school. It was always like you got to school and it was like gazpacho instead of tomato soup. It is definitely, they're keeping them warm now. So try that. And then if you do have a veggie eater, lettuce wraps. They're so easy and they're so much fun to make. We do a lot of deconstructed lunches too, where I pack all the ingredients, so it's like make your own tacos. So I've got the tortillas in there, the cheese, the meat, the lettuce. They can put it together. It again gives them a little responsibility to do it. Leftovers are your friend. Again, anything you had for dinner last night, if they loved it, there you go. There's lunch. Make a little extra, and again, with that time prep, it's 2 seconds after you're cleaning up dinner. Put the lunch together right then and there and put it in the fridge so that you can just send it in the morning. Very easy. School lunches are not terrible. Everyone's going to tell you, oh, my school, the worst. Americans have the worst lunch. I've seen more Facebook posts about how terrible school lunches are. They're not terrible. It again empowers the child to make some decisions about what they want to eat. More and more schools are offering salads, they're offering vegetables, and they're seeing their peers eat it. We were talking about earlier, peer pressure is a beautiful thing. It can be. If you have a child that is a picky eater, make sure you bring over your friend who says their kid is a great eater and sit them next to each other. That kid that loves eating broccoli is going to peer pressure that kid into at least trying it. You know, it works. And if they see all their peers eating that school lunch, they want to be a part of that. So I do let my kids at least once a month, twice a month, pick out a school lunch, and they may pick chicken nuggets. That may be the day they pick. Chicken nuggets once a month is not going to kill them, I promise you. They're going to die of way better things than that. We're going to ruin them in so much better ways. And then presentation. This for me is a fun thing. Again, I work 40 hours. Who has time for presentation? But you can have time for it. I've brought a couple of examples. Like I said, if you take that Sunday to make lunch, these are easy lunch boxes. I have a link for it on there. Perfect. What does this kind of look like, guys? Have you guys ever seen the new food diagram, your food plate, what it's supposed to look like? This makes it really easy. Little place for vegetables and fruits, little place for some protein in there. Done, packed away. Put it in the fridge. I can pack a couple for the week. These are also my favorite. My kids love yogurt. Frozen yogurt, you can pop them in there. They just pop the top on there. You can put fruit in your yogurt then. This one has a hole in it, oh no. You can put fruit in your yogurt there. Again, giving them choices. Something else, if you guys make smoothies in the morning, throw your extra smoothie in here, throw it in the freezer, put it in your kids' lunch. Perfect, an extra little snack for them too. Oh, I love these. My kids love them too. I don't know if you guys have seen these. They sell them at every grocery store on the rack when you're going through the bread aisle. Cutting the sandwich. They want the crust cut off anyway. If you're gonna stick with bread, 2 seconds of this and all of a sudden it's a dinosaur. So now they're playing with their food. Obviously my 4-year-old responds to this more than my 14-year-old does, but she likes the one that's hearts. So there's one that's got hearts on it too. So a little bit of presentation can really kind of go a long way to get the kids excited and involved in wanting to eat a little bit. I've said it 12 times, so 6, use Sunday. Take that minute, take an hour, take it for yourself. Go ahead and you're already cutting up vegetables. I mean, how great would it be for yourself to have veggies on hand that you could just grab out? You could have them pre-bagged and everything. That's what I do. I chop everything up. I go ahead and put it in the little baggies. So all I have to do is the night before is stuff everything into the lunchbox, put it back in the fridge, and it's done. It's taken care of. It does take a little time, so I understand. Don't give up. I work in advertising, okay? People are not gonna respond the first time that you show them anything. They're just not. And kids are the same way. Advertisers say that you need between 18 to 23 times before something sticks. So that means if I'm putting an ad for my other business, like it's gonna take people 20 times to see it before they're like, oh yeah, hey Kathryn, that was really great. I wanna come to your real food class. It's gonna take a while. So it's the same with kids. Like I said, I do those vegetables in Brady's lunch every single week. And he is just now, we are on year 2 of him finally at least eating one of them every single time. And it takes lots of exposure. I do the same thing at dinner. Vegetables are always on his plate. They're always an option. We put them out before we even serve dinner sometimes, so they're on the table because they come in and they're, "Oh, I'm ravenous, Mom. I haven't eaten all day. I'm starving." Vegetables, they're sitting right there on the plate. Fruit, go grab yourself an apple. It's all available and they can have choices. So I keep exposing them. I think that exposure over a long time is really going to help them. And then my last one is that I'm part of their Juice Plus family, and we bridge the gap for my top kid. She is really great at eating vegetables. Bottom one, great at eating vegetables. That middle kid has patience. He does not want to eat them. He doesn't want to look at them. He doesn't want to lick them. But we bridge the gap for him, and he takes Juice Plus every single day. And through that exposure, because you are what you eat, through being able to get those 35 plus like fruits and vegetables, whole fruits and vegetables, he is eating more and more. One of the main ingredients in Juice Plus is kale. And guess what his favorite vegetable is? Kale. And cabbage, which is weird to me, is you don't like vegetables, kid, but you love cabbage. And so it just took a lot of time and a little bit of effort, but I think that it can be done. I know that it's hard and it's time consuming, but Sunday's your best friend. I mean, you're sitting, take your little phone, set up Grey's or whatever you're watching that day, Game of Thrones, chop some vegetables while you're watching, and